This is very much important. So we have different types of DAX functions are available: aggregation functions, rounding functions, logical functions, information functions, and date and time intelligence functions, table functions. Likewise, under different category, a lot of built-in functions are available. For example, if you go to Google, here I just type it here. For example, aggregation functions in Power BI Microsoft. If you go to Microsoft website, there you can find the document manual. learn.microsoft.com. If you click on it, you'll find all the functions. You look here on the left side, you'll find a lot of functions are there. It is practically impossible to explore all the things. We'll explore all the important, most frequently used, the interview specific DAX functions. And if you go and type it here, for example, I want to see the count function and press enter. Search for count in all Power BI. And here some DAX guide is also available, dax.guide. So this is also very much helpful. Look here, it shows all the aggregation and average, average X, count A, count X, count blank, and count rows, count X. All these functions are available. Distinct count and max. All these functions are called aggregation functions. It is also called as a summarization. Okay, so summary functions, using which you can summarize the data. Supposing in a column, you have a column called sales. In the sales column, you have 1 million values are there. Okay, and if you want to perform total, we use some function. If you want to compute the average, we use average. But if you see here on the average itself, more than one function is an average, average A, and average X. Likewise, each thing, right? So for example, count, we know very well. Count function helps us to understand how many number of occurrences of values available in a column. We can find out. That is the one. But in the count itself, they've given many functions. The count A, count X. Likewise, they've given a lot of functions here. So what we will do is we will explore the count function, and then we will explore other functions. Okay, to start with, let us take a deep dive into the aggregation function. Especially, we will take a look at the count family of functions. Why I call this as a count family of functions? Within the count, look here around, we will see it later. Within the count, we have 7 different functions are available. In the count category itself, 7 different count functions are available. Now let us go and explore how each count function is all about, and what is the difference between these count functions. So when we can use which count function, we will learn it now. Okay, so here I have created 2 categories for all these 7 count functions for the sake of simplifying your understanding. So here, these 4 count functions exclude the blanks. Supposing you have a column called sales, or you have sales column. Here you have 10, 2, and then you have some blank values there. This, you just think this is a blank value, okay, and then or it's a null value, and then 22, 23 is there. If you use a count function, count of sales will give us how many number of values are there in the column. It will not do the total. Instead, it will go and check 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But since this is a null value, it will ignore this one. The count function ignores the null. So now it will return 4. Okay, the count of sales gives me how many number of values are there in a sales column. Whereas if you use sum of sales, it will give you the total. It will add all this value. So 10 plus 2, 12, and 34, and then 34 plus 23. And you will get 57 also, right? You will get 57. That is a sum. But here the count function gives the number of values in the column. And also you need to remember that the count function will exclude it will not count the null values. If you have the blank values, it will not count it. Okay. And similarly, the count A, count X, count AX, all these four functions, if you have any blank value in your column, it will ignore this one. Okay, then why we need four different functions? The count function, it counts the number of values in a column that contain number, and you have date and strings. Let's say you have this is a number data type. Date of birth is there, and date of birth is a date data type, and then the name of the person. Okay, and here so the count function will work on these data types: number data type, and number data type, and then string data type, and then date data type. Okay, and it simply ignores the blank value when it counts the number of values in the column. You need to remember this. Okay, the count function does not count the Boolean values. If you have a true or false, for example, you have something called active, you have something called column called active. Here you have something called true or false is there. If you use count of active, it will throw an error, it will not work. Count function will work with the number, date, and string. It will not work with the Boolean data type, Boolean values. The next one is the count A function. As the name suggests, it works with all the data type. So number, date, string, including Boolean, it will work. Like count function, it will ignore the blank value in it. Okay. And right, so that is the difference between these two. And the next one is the count X function. The count X function counts the number of values in a column that contain number, dates, and strings. Like count function, it will not work with the Boolean data type. Okay. Now the question is, what is the difference between count and count X? More or less, both of them look similar, right? Both of them look similar. Both the functions ignore the blank value, and it works with only these three data types: number, date, and string. Okay, and then what is the difference between these two? So the function which ends with the X, I told you already, the function which ends with the X is called your iterating function. Okay, what you do is you can use expression. Okay, the first argument of your iterating function like count X, count AX is table, comma, you can use some kind of expression. Okay, and then you can use some expression. So that is the difference between count and count X. In the case of count, you can specify the column name, that's all. But here you can specify the first argument supposed to be table name, comma, and then you need to specify the column name, something like that. Okay, and the next one or the expression, you can specify it here. And the count AX, as the name says, the difference between these two are pretty clear, right? Count A and count S, it works with all the data type, but it excludes the blank, like count and count X. But count A, the count X function also works with all the data type: number, date, string, Boolean data type. It also ignores the blank value. And the advantage of this one is, you can evaluate an expression with count AX. The next one is the distinct count. These three functions, it takes into account of the blank value also. So it counts distinct values in a column, including blanks. Supposing you have a column by the name of age is there. Okay, and in this case, you have 22, 30, 32 or 28, and we have something else like a blank values there, blank, null. Okay, so in this case, again, you have the 22 is there. Distinct count, right? How many distinct values are there? It will eliminate the duplicates. So in this case, 2 to 20 to 22 have duplicate values, since it will take into account only 22, and the next one is 32 and 28 and null. So now we have 4 values are there. Okay, it will return the age column has 4 values in it. That is the output you will get, a distinct count. The next one is the count blanks. As the name suggests, it counts the number of blank values. In this case, it will return 1. And next one is count rows. I want to count how many number of records in a table. In that kind of situation, you can go for count rows function. Pretty simple and straightforward. I just directly jump into the Power BI desktop, and already I have the file with me. Count family function. The interest of time, I just go and reuse it because these are all very simple functions. Again, I don't want to waste time in loading the data and see, first of all, launching the Power BI desktop is taking time. So I have a table by the name of sales by customer is available. I already loaded here. It has less number of data in it. We'll go and explore what data is there in this table. It has a less number of data in it. In the interest of time, right, we will start with the list number of records. Look here, you have a customer name, unit sold, sales, active is a Boolean data type. So this column is a Boolean data type, true or false only will be there. And this is a text data type, and this is also text data. This is integer, and this is also whole number. So now what we do is I just go here, and to start with, let us understand what is count, how the count function works. So here I have created multiple measures here. For example, here count sales SAM. I just selected this one. Probably I will put it in the proper order so that in line with my document, so that you will not have any confusion. Look here, I selected this card. This is a card visual. Okay, I just show you how to create the card visual. Already we discussed it. Look here, just beneath the visualization pane, you will find the card. If you click on it once, it will get dragged to your the report canvas. And then in this case, when I look here, count sales, this is the measure I created it. How have I created it? Count sales am is equal to count of count function, sales by customer. This is my table name. In this table, in the sales column, okay, and how many number of values are there? Look here, the count function will ignore the blank values. So here, how many number of records are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So out of 9, we have only 6 values are there. So hence it returns 6 here. I just created this measure. How to create a measure? You all, okay, since you're all new one here, right? This batch, I'm starting it from the scratch. So if you want to create a measure, you need to go to the modeling. We have another approach. I will tell you later. Okay, and the modeling, click on the modeling ribbon. Here you will find measure, new measure, and then you have quick measure, new column, and new table. At this moment, I just click on the new measure. Rest we'll discuss it later. Okay. I just copy paste the same thing, but here I just give one order because I want you people to understand how to create a measure. I just created this one. I just press enter. In case of any syntax error, it will throw an error. Okay, so you need to go in. For example, here you forgot to specify the closed parenthesis. The count is a function, as I told you. Any function you use it, right, that should be followed by open parenthesis, and it should end with the closed parenthesis. Here I did not specify the closed parenthesis mistakenly. I just press enter, and then 1 second, it'll throw an error. It's not throwing an error. Okay, what I do is I just click on it somewhere else, and then I just go back here, count. Look here, this one is already taken here. And if I do it, right, even if I don't include it, it includes the closed parenthesis automatically, right? That's good. So the new version, very good. Like Power Query editor, it automatically generates the DAX also fine, right? So you just drag and drop it here. Look here, sales. So in the sales column, we have 9 values supposed to be there, but only 6 values are there. It excluded the remaining 3 values. Out of 9, 3 values got excluded because 3 values are having blank values in it, right? Three records having blank values in the sales column, excluding the blank value, the rest of the value it counted. Okay, that is what the count function. That's what we discussed, right? It exclude the blanks. And then next, what we'll do is we'll look at the count year function. Before we proceed with count year function, what I do is I use the count function to count the values in the Boolean data type. Let us see what happens. So I'm going to use the same measure because we have the duplicate, right? So we don't need the duplicate. What I do is, now you understood how to create the measure, simple measure. So here what I do is I just go and type. So you don't have to type entire thing inside the, this is my count here function. We are going to work with, count function only. We are going to work with the count function. In this case, I'm going to use the active column. I just type the 3-letter, automatically it shows the table name and the corresponding, the full name of the column. Okay, and then, okay, it included the closed parentheses, so good. And the next one is the account sales one. Look here, this one, look here, I just click on it in the blank space. And if I click on this card visual, it is, nothing is displayed. Right, so why it is not displaying it? So when I selected this card visual, you can see the corresponding measure that I used it in this visual got highlighted. All right, when I click on this measure, what I wrote it, you can see that I use the count function. Like here in the sales column, I have used the count function. Similarly, I have used the count function on top of this active column. But it is not working, it is throwing error because the count function not only excludes the value blank values, but also it doesn't work with the Boolean data type column. This is Boolean data type. True, false, if you have anything right in your account, that is called your Boolean data type. So it is not going to work with the column which is of Boolean data type. Okay, my statement is correct. Okay. And the next one is the count here function. It counts the number of all values in a column, including text. So where is the count AX? I just order it. Okay, count A, right? We need to start with count A. Yeah, count A. And I just selected this card visual, and it will automatically highlight the corresponding the measure which I used it in this one on the right side. The moment when I select it on the right side, if I see here, this is the one, count A measure. When I click on it, you can see that the customer column, I have used it here. So this column, right, customer column. In this, I have 9 values are there. Hence, it gives me correctly 9 here. Okay, here WH, I just move this here because it's overlapping that one, and people and all the 9 values. The 22 is a numeric value, but still the column customer is a text data type. Even if you store the numeric value, it will get converted as a text data type. Okay. So it shows a 9. Count A is doing the perfect job. It works with the text data type also. Next thing is we need to validate whether it is going to work with the Boolean data type, right? That is what we need to check it out, count A. And what I do is I just remove this one and active. Okay, better you remove everything here and active. And I just close this and press enter. Since I already dragged and dropped on this card visual, it will reflect the changes here itself. Okay, count A is now it shows 5, count A. So on the active column, right? So count A works with the Boolean data type. So my statement is wrong, correct? My statement is correct. And here in the case of active, 3, 4, 5 values are there. It excluded the blank values. How many blank values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blank values it excluded. The count A function, count function excludes the blank value as the name suggests. The count A works with all data type. The number, date. Here I don't have date data type. Already I tested it. Okay, number. Probably you can put some date column and test it out. Okay, so number, date, text, and Boolean data type it works. Whereas the count function it doesn't work with the Boolean data type. So other data types it works. The next one is count AX function. Let us see how the count AX function works. I just selected it, and then this one got highlighted on the right side. And here you can see the first argument supposed to be sales by customer, table name. So the function which ends with X is your iterating function, iterator function. The first argument for your iterating function is table, and followed by that, you can specify the expression. For example, if you want to know the syntax, followed by, if you type this one, table comma expression, look here. Now what happens is it counts the value in the active column. Okay, in this case, count AX. So the like count A, the count AX function also works with all the data type, including the Boolean data type. But you can use some other expression also. I'll show you what expression that I use a little later. So in this case, I have used the column name itself. Okay, fine. So both of them are same. The output is same. Next one is the count AX filter measure. Look here, count AX filter measure. In this case, what I did, I have used the filter function here, expression here, right? The filter function itself used. The first argument is supposed to be your table name, because the count AX function, right, has the end of this function name is, right, you can see the X here. It's an iterating function. The first argument is supposed to be a table name, but here I can see that I have you could see that I've used a filter function. Like count AX function, the filter function also takes the first argument as a table. It's very simple. All the functions that it ends with the X are called an iterating function. The iterating function, the first argument is supposed to be a table name. Okay. But one exception is the filter function also takes the first argument as the table name, like iterating function. Okay. And the next one is, and the filter function, first argument is a table name, second argument is your expression. So in this case, I have filtered, this one, this column, right? So you don't take don't consider false, consider only true. Filter only those and the active customers. Active customers are true. Okay, in this table, filter the entire table records for the customers. Those are active. Active means true. I specify the condition. This filter function returns a table. Okay, it returns a table. Anyhow, we'll discuss about filter little later. Returns a table. Okay, and then what happens is this filter function will have only the subset of this data. It will have only the true values in it. How many trues are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the sales, now the customer column, right? The customer column, true, the corresponding true, how many values are there? So to customer 22, barren, and then true. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it gives me 4 here. Okay, we'll try with false to validate my, whether my statement is correct or not. We'll just do it. So in this case, you will have only one. It has to return 1, right? Count A, count AX, count function, count X function, all these functions. In this case, it gives me 5, right? So active equal to false. Count AX. Okay, here the false, right? I've given the false here. This is something weird. Okay, and weird or okay. So in this case, what happens? It has to filter only the true, false, right? It has to filter only the false. Only one record should be there, and it is doing something wrong here. Okay, count. This is count AX, right? Let me just check. This is my okay, active equal to false. Okay, active equal to false means Larry. Only one guy should come here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, see, it considers the blank as false, it seems. Okay, it considers the blank as a the false here. Okay, in this case. because it's a Boolean data type. True is 1 and 0 is false. Anyhow, this one I will check and come back. You can also try this out. True. Now, if I use, sorry, true here, right? So here in this case, earlier it was true, right? Just click on cross to get back the previous value. No, I just saved it, right? Okay, the true here. Now it is for true, it is showing correct thing, and but false, it is showing something 5. So according to us, here, the 1, 2, 3. So blank values 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, it considers this one the blank values. So count AX function. It should not count the blank values. Okay. Count X. Count X counts all values in a column for a table set or filter table, excluding blanks. Look here, excluding blanks like count A, but count X, we can do filters. We'll go and verify it in the thing here. Count AX counts the number of values which is result from a row of a table. Better we can go by this Microsoft document here. Okay, and here count AX an iterative function table and expression here returns the number of values that are non-blank by iterating the provided table. It should return the non-blank value. Or okay, count X and count X are identical in DAX for all the data types except Boolean. Okay, and or identical in DAX for all the data types and except Boolean. Okay, and the count AX can operate on Boolean data type. Okay. Yeah, count AX operate on Boolean data, fine. Whereas count X cannot do that. That is what we have seen it here. I'll come back to this one. Okay, and why it is showing 5, this is an action item for me. I'll just check and come back to count X function. Next one is the count X function. Like count function, it will not work with the Boolean data type. Other data types it will work. So in this case, I just select this and look here, the count X measure here. If I click on it, I've used it on the customer column. So it shows all the text data type. It works with the text data type, fine. All the 9 values. It counted how many number of values are in the customer column. 9 is fine. It's doing good job. Fine. So far we discussed about count count AX, and count X also. And next we will take a look at the count blank function. Count blanks. Okay, the count blanks. Look here on the right side. When I click on this sales column, how many blanks values are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 blank values are there. Okay, fine. Now you understood how the count blanks, right? It works. I just show you one more time. Count blank is a function. The argument is sales column. It is doing correct thing. It gives us the correct result. And the next one is the blank, blank count. Blank count, count blank. There is a function count blank on the customer's name. Here we don't have any blank value. Okay, why should I use this one? Let me use okay, the distinct count and count blank. Okay, in this case, I'm going to use the sales column. The sales column, 3 blank values are there. It should display the blank values 3. Okay, and here this is your count blank and this is your okay. Count blank. Both of them are same, right? Okay, I made a count blank and count blank. Okay, both of them are same. And the next one is here. I should have used the count blank distinct count. We use the distinct count. So what I do is in this case the distinct count. I'm going to use the customer's name. Let's see. Not the customer's name. That's where we have duplicate name. Customer's name. Okay, here I should have changed this one. I just change it to some meaningful name. Okay, so that when you use it, you should not get confused. Distinct count. It is not on the sales column. It is on the customer name. Customer. So how many distinct values are there? Here we have 7, right? It shows 7. What does it mean? So true is a distinct one. One unique value is a distinct value, and Vipul is appearing value 1 and 2, and Rach is 3, and Larry is 4, and Chris is 5, and 22 is 6. And though we have 3 duplicate values, it considers them as a single value. It takes only one value here, distinct value. So 6 plus 1, 7 is correct. You understood, right? Distinct. I'll just explain one more time. Here, in the case of distinct, it will take only the unique values. Even if you have repeated values are there for the same thing, right? It will consider only the unique values. Though Baron appears more than one time, it takes only one value here. Okay, 1, it counts it as a 1, and 2, 22 is 2, and Chris is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what it is. So now you understood the difference blank count and this one. The next one is the 9. Ninth one is, what is that? Measure. Here count rows, number of rows. How many number of rows are there in this table? Look here, in this case, the argument is not the column name, table name itself. Gives us how many number of records are there in this table on the whole. Okay, now we have explored the count family of functions. Just to summarize, we explored the count function and count x, count ax, count a, and count blank, and then the distinct count, and then we discussed about the count rows. Okay, and also we categorized the count family of function into 2 different categories. The first category, we have categorized the count a, count, and all these functions. Okay, these functions exclude the blank value, and then it counts the rest of the values. But in the case of count and count x, it will not work with the Boolean data type. The count a and count x work with all the data type, and the distinct count and count blanks, all these 3 functions, count rows, it includes the blank values. The distinct count gives you the unique values. It takes into account of the blank value also, distinct count. You need to remember this. And the count blanks count number of blanks in a column. How many number of blank values? It show only the blank values. How many number of blank values? The count rows gives the total number of rows in a table. Very simple one, the count family of function. Next, we will quickly